According to Sports Pro, Caitlin Clark is the fourth most marketable athlete in the world. Yeah, not just female athlete, not just in the United States, but in the entire world.
Have you seen the recent behavior of Caitlin Clark? She did not only sign a contract. She changed the standards for endorsements. Clark's new $13 billion partnership is not just significant, but also revolutionary. But at this point, things start to get really intriguing when Clark makes significant modifications. You won't believe how some WNBA players responded to this possibly revolutionary deal. Stay in as we go deeper into the drama, including Aya Wilson's response to include women's basketball.
How? In what way? What does she sell out tens of thousands of Wilson basketballs in 40 minutes? I mean, what has A'ja Wilson done to say that she is worth every penny and then?
Caitlin Clark basketballs in vivid purple and yellow are the result of Wilson and High's collaboration. Fans will receive the Dreamer and Tribute editions in time for the holidays, making them the ideal present. This innovative collaboration and the fascinating advertisements are the buzz of the town.
Here, they just had this go, and this is the Hy-Vee Instagram account. Again, Wilson, Caitlin Clark, really smart, very cool video, lots of smiling faces.
Wilson's ability to identify talent is demonstrated by this $13 billion alliance. But Nike made a mistake. Wilson made a daring and groundbreaking decision by seeing Caitlin Clark's potential early on. Let's go back to the day Wilson signed Clark. It was a smart choice.
Clark just did something nobody has done since Michael Jordan. Wilson Sporting Goods signed the WNBA star to a multi-year deal. She's the first female athlete to have her own collection with Wilson, and it will be built similar to Jordan's collection in the 1980s that included those signature basketballs.
Wilson gained Caitlin Clark, a game changer. They took a big chance by doing something they had only ever done once, with Michael Jordan himself. As soon as the agreement was made public, everyone was discussing it on social media. Wilson had just transformed women's sports.
Only athlete to have a signature basketball with Wilson other than Michael freaking Jordan. Wilson's head of global partnership said, "We haven't done a deal of this magnitude since we did one with Michael Jordan 30 to 40 years ago."
Then it became possible to see Clark's first basketball game. Tens of thousands of basketballs were swiftly gone after that, as it sold out in a matter of minutes. T is a historic event. After Michael Jordan, Caitlin Clark is just the second athlete in history to possess a Wilson basketball.
I don't know that I can name an athlete in recent memory that is sold at this level. And there's the key, folks. Caitlin Clark moves products. Caitlin Clark moves merchandise. And here's what I was talking about too. They mentioned it here. Or in September, Wilson dropped the first Clark-inspired basketball. It sold out in under 40 minutes. Tens of thousands of basketballs snapped up almost instantly.
Wilson won't stop there, though. They want to show Clark something they've never seen in her. Her star power, her ability to engage with fans and make money, and her competence on the court. Wilson has a sizable wager on Clark. And so far, it's paying off rather nicely. What does women's sports stand to gain from this significant shift? Businesses' perceptions of female athletes, how they promote to sports fans, and their overall appreciation of women's sports are all changing. Clark is revolutionizing the sports industry not only on the court, but also in boardrooms and marketing conferences.
And shout out to Wilson. I think we all really, really appreciate what Wilson has done. They seem to be the only business, the only entity that has taken Caitlin Clark at face value for what and who she is and the opportunities that can bring. Fully, completely embraced her, been great with their marketing. Product drops. I mean, I don't even know how many different basketballs now, but they've made multiple product drops with, limited quantity. I guess you could say they're sold out right away. They keep doing more.
Wilson's agreement is only the start. As they get ready to advance, Wilson and Clark will have a big indirect influence on women's sports. Are you prepared to witness what comes next? Recently, Caitlin Clark made a significant move by forming a partnership worth $13 billion. But here's the twist. Instead of accepting a personal contract, she convinced Wilson and Hay, the huge Midwest grocery chain, to add women's sports. You might think of a chain of supermarkets, but this isn't your typical business. The focal point of this retail giant is Caitlin Clark. Nor are they merely writing her name on a cereal box. Instead, they are producing something wholly original and fascinating.
Apparently all of her basketballs or collabs that she's done
Yeah.
are sold out pretty quickly.
This is when the interesting part begins. Guess who is back in the running when High releases limited edition basketballs? These basketballs are called the Tribute Wilson and Clark Dreams basketballs because of how much they resemble Clark. Off the court, Wilson and Hay are creating a sort of super squad. But why is this such a major issue? It has to do with how women's sports will be marketed in the future. This type of partnership is innovative and establishes a new benchmark for how female athletes collaborate with large organizations. Remember that they have been there for Caitlin Clark at every turn, demonstrating their dedication to her journey from the beginning. When Caitlin Clark lived in Iowa, you may recall their donation to the Caitlin Clark Foundation. In addition to accepting a contract, Clark is contributing to the creation of things that tell her narrative. Wilson claims that every ball symbolizes a different phase of Clark's career, from her time at Iowa to her rise to WNBA fame. It makes sense because developing a brand is more important than advertising. Sport Pro ranked her as the world's fourth most marketable athlete.
Here, Caitlin Clark lands $13 billion brand collab as WNBA stars bond with Wilson grows deeper. And that's the cool part, man. Shout out to Wilson.
What are the future ramifications of this? Perhaps other businesses will take similar chances, work together more creatively, and provide greater funding for women's sports. Maybe the numbers won't surprise us the next time a female athlete accepts a contract. Instead, we'll be waiting for them.
This is a collaboration with supermarket chain Hy-Vee. They rake in more than $13 billion annually. Huge company, just in time for the...
Wilson and Vei are supporting Clark, but what about Nike? You would think they would be all over this by now, but this is where things start to get interesting. It's unbelievable that Clark signed a $28 million deal with Nike, but the sports giant never got in touch with the fans, leaving them to wonder where the shoes, shirts, and extensive marketing campaign had vanished to. The fact that Clark is so well-liked is no secret. If Nike doesn't capitalize on Clark's star power, they lose out every day in the fast-paced world of sports marketing. Fans are willing to buy, but Nike isn't selling her jerseys, even though sales have increased by 500%.
And what this is Hy-Vee has announced an exclusive, yeah, that's right, an exclusive drop of Caitlin Clark's Dreamer and Tribute Wilson basketballs. Very cool. Big deal. Good job, Wilson. You know they probably went and put this together. I mean, maybe Hy-Vee contacted Caitlin Clark first, but, you know, this is probably something, the type of thing. It's an absolute and utter embarrassment. Nike should be shut down simply out of shame for the way they have treated Caitlin.
Industry insiders are likewise confused. They argue that instead of putting Clark on the bench, Nike ought to have launched shoe lines, put her face on billboards, and taken other actions. According to a new rumor, Nike plans to give Aya Wilson's shoes priority over Caitlin Clark's, although this is not feasible from a marketability standpoint. Aya Wilson is clearly in front of Caitlin Clark.
And get this, Hy-Vee says it's making a donation to the Caitlin Clark Foundation in honor of her record. $35,690 will be donated. In Clark's basketball career, she's scored 3,569 points to beat the old record.
When Nike gets involved, this is where things start to go crazy. While other businesses are launching exclusive products, Wilson sells out basketballs in a matter of minutes. Like everyone else, Nike recognizes Clark's worth.
At number 4, Caitlin Clark, LeBron James at 3, Vinicius Jr., who is a Brazilian soccer star, and number 1 being Simone Biles. As you can see, Caitlin Clark is the only WNBA player in the top 10, and she's actually the only WNBA player in the top 20.
Yeah, where is Caitlin Clark's shoe? Jersey sales skyrocketed by 500% this season. Where's the shoe, folks? Where is it?
With the exception of Nike, it appears that everyone is currently profiting from the notion that women's sports can generate a substantial amount of revenue, even though Clark is demonstrating this. What's the issue? Is Nike making a grave error with the biggest brand in women's basketball, or do they know something we don't?
While strengthening the partnerships she's already built, from basketballs flying off shelves to multi-million-dollar endorsements, CC is at the forefront of athlete branding.
And her WNBA season has come and gone. And with that, Nike has not done one thing to promote her. We have not seen any commercials, we have not seen any ads, we have not seen any Caitlin Clark merchandise, and we for sure as hell have not seen any Caitlin Clark signature shoes. It is mind-blowing.
Can you picture yourself right now in the Nike boardroom? They have the most attractive basketball player, but they aren't using her. It would be like having a Ferrari in the garage. But the story is not finished yet. Aya Wilson, who is jealous of Caitlin Clark's amazing new contract, also revealed a 6-year contract extension with Nike. The announcement hasn't been ignored, though. Many supporters believe this purchase is motivated by jealousy and wonder if it can really compete with Clark's unrivaled marketing prowess.
Where's the shoe, folks? Where is it? Paige Becker recently landed her own signature shoe. Crappy shoe, but she got one. And yeah, you're right. Vocal, of course. Why not? We should be vocal. Absolutely ridiculous.
He reports Nike wants to prioritize A'ja Wilson, and it fears the optics of giving a rookie a signature shoe before an already established star who just won league MVP for the 3rd time. We have talked about this multiple times on my channel. Is A'ja Wilson currently the best player in the WNBA? Yes. Is Caitlin Clark currently the face of the WNBA? Yes. Do I think if A'ja Wilson dropped a shoe and Caitlin Clark dropped a shoe today at the very same time, that Caitlin Clark would outsell A'ja's shoe by 100 times? Yes, I think that would be. We had the craziest momentum that we have ever seen with any athlete in the history of ever. And the fact that Nike did not capitalize on that, the fact that they are the biggest athletic sportswear brand in the world, and we didn't hear a peep out of them the entire season, it truly makes me wonder, like, if I were Caitlin Clark's management, and again, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I would be truly rethinking the deal that I signed up for.
A'ja Wilson, Nike, agreed a 6-year contract extension after 3rd WNBA MVP, which was, of course, one of those participation entitlement MVPs. She was awarded the MVP before the season started because of the complaint campaign that she should have gotten it the year before instead of Brianna.
Social media is full of commentary. Wilson's contract is being referred to be fake by some of his supporters. Even while some individuals are supporting her, there is dispute within the WNBA community over the significance of these partnerships in the evolving field of women's basketball. Thank you for watching my video.